Bet you didn't expect to see this video from me, did you, folks? Surprise, motherfuckers! I'm Charles Renton with my review of WWE Smackdown from the Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, Washington. That's why I decided to endure this 3-hour show that really should be 2 hours, because it's in Seattle, Washington. No, I wasn't there. You know why I wasn't there? You should see the prices that they have for just their regular television tapings. And even though there were some moments on this show I would like to have experienced live, I am thankful that one of my best friends in the goddamn world, Roxy, was able to be there live. And I hope she had a great goddamn time. I hope anybody else that I knew at the show had a great time. And I hope we are all ready for the WrestleMania festivities in just a week. So, speaking of the WrestleMania festivities, this is what the lineup is going to look like. Because there are a few things I'm going to talk about, but not in great detail. This is what the lineup is going to look like for the channel for WrestleMania week. WrestleMania, or the Raw, the Go Home Raw for WrestleMania. I will be reviewing that on the 14th. Won't be reviewing NXT. I won't be reviewing the Smackdown the day before WrestleMania. The Hall of Fame, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to bother with the Hall of Fame because I'm going to be fighting sleep at that point. We will see. For sure, I will be reviewing WrestleMania Night 1 and WrestleMania Night 2. As for NXT Stand and Deliver, it's going to depend. I'm very busy that weekend with work, even though I will obviously have time to watch WrestleMania 41 Night 1 and 2. Those predictions will be up shortly after this review goes up because the cards are set. Well, one match isn't officially set as of me recording this right now, but obviously Randy Orton versus Solo Sikoa is going to happen. So that is the lineup there, and the Raw after WrestleMania. I will be reviewing that, but I do have another mystery movie to go watch that night, so I will be reviewing that, the rest of it, after that movie, provided it's something I want to stick around for. I think it's The Legend of Ochi. So after that, it's going to be here and there with the weekly WWE stuff. Just because by that point, I think I will have about reached my zenith, reached my breaking point with that, just as far as reviews. So I will do maybe the occasional Raw. This might be the only SmackDown I do for a while. I don't think I'm even going to do the SmackDown after Mania, unless it actually ends up looking like a pretty good lineup. So, yeah, I wasn't at the show too costly. Kevin Owens, I hope he can recover and just have a long, healthy life because of his neck and possible, spinal issues. The man's taken so many goddamn hard bumps for years and years and years before he got to WWE and has been willing to basically literally break his back and break his body down for this. He's 40. Sammy, I think, is about at the same goddamn point. I actually would be very surprised if either guy is wrestling past, say, WrestleMania 43. And they've had a wealth of experience, a wealth of moments just in WWE alone. So, healing thoughts to Mr. Kevin Owens. I don't know why I felt the need to say it like that, but hopefully he recovers. As for the Charlotte Tiffany fiasco, I did actually end up seeing that. I watched enough of that to know that, my God, Tiffany still needs a little bit of time to get some more seasoning, some thyme and oregano. And also, Charlotte, look, Charlotte is letting the crowd get to her, and she is just, at this point, being unprofessional. I'm sorry. She needs to go after WrestleMania. She's been through some personal stuff. I'm not going to mock her because of the divorce from Andrade, whatever the reason was. I hope everybody's okay, but I'm sorry, Charlotte needs to fucking go. So that being said, let's get on with the show. Joe and Wade are a great commentary duo. Drew has a legit eye injury. I don't get the theme. I don't know who sings the theme. I haven't actually watched SmackDown in full in a while. The last time was when, you check the playlist. It's been about, a month and a half. I think I've reviewed like a grand total of 4 SmackDowns in like 6 months. Just because I only got so many hours in the week. I only got so much free time. And I can only watch so much wrestling at this point, guys. Especially during the pandemic and through that period, it got to the point where I was reviewing so much. And finally, I just got burned out. Recaps of Orton RKOing Aldis. Here's Aldis to call out Orton. Orton said, I paid that double that fine because I said if something like this happens again, then I'm covered. Orton wants a match against anyone. Hey, Aldis, take the suit off and put on your tights, even. And Aldis says, I don't need your money, I need your respect. Well, you have my respect. And then Solo shows up. This, by the way, is right after Orton basically says, if you don't give me a match, then someone's going to have to kill Mickie James again. Oh, scandalous. If you don't get that, then thankfully you missed that bullshit on TNA programming. Orton mocks Tama. He wants a fight. LA Knight shows up. We've got a main event for later. Liv and Raquel are at ringside. Liv forgot her pants again. Stop thinking about it, Kira. I know you're thinking about you. Stop it. Get some goddamn help. Kira's just going to be over the goddamn moon because he's going to get to see Bayley and Liv trying to top each other in the ring. What is wrong with you, Kira? It's only wrestling action. We run a clean operation here. Who is we? I don't fucking know what I'm saying anymore. I'm tired, but stop thinking about it, Kira. Kira's a great guy. Had to say it. Haven't said it in a while. So, women's tag gauntlet. The winners face Liv and Raquel. So they really face Liv, and Raquel is also there, despite not earning a Mania spot. Lyra and Bayley took on... They started and took on Zoe and Shayna. And, you know, I would have thought Zoe would have been thrilled to be back in Seattle. She helped Don Owen, you know, break into the Seattle market a number of years ago. Hell, she was there when the Kingdom was first built. She remembers the Seahawks' first game. Moving on. Lyra got rocked, but did end up getting a jackknife on Shayna for 3. That was a little, you would think that Zoe would actually, you know, be a little bit better and a little bit more immune from botches, considering she was there when Lincoln got assassinated. So Natty was out there. Oh, Maxine was in her corner? Yeah, I had noticed, because Natty's really the only wrestler on this team, and I'm sorry. Bless Maxine for trying, but there are plenty of people that have great skills for stuff other than what they're trying to do. They chanted for Maxine. You know what? Elias was right about what he said about the Sonics, and I was there for that, and that was a lot of fun. Maxine got, you know, rolled up by Bayley. Maxine doing a reverse worm. There's a euphemism there I'm going to ignore. Caden and Katana showed up, and the Nightwing pinned Katana. And then, it's not that this is necessarily a bad match. I mean, I'm glad they gave the women like 30 minutes, but it was a gauntlet match that went about 30 minutes. And this shows that the wealth of women's tag teams is not very deep, because you have Meepchin again and B-Fab. What did Meepchin do to deserve this, and why did they insist on having B-Fab as a wrestler? She's not good. She's never gonna be good. I'm sorry. B-Fab got pinned by Bayley. And then Piper and Alba, the secret Hervis, as they call, because Alba did join Chelsea Green's deal right there a few weeks ago, that is. And Alba in that suit was doing something for me. I don't know what it was. And Lyra did hit a powerbomb on Piper and an elbow drop for 1. And then Piper took another powerbomb outside. And yeah, Alba ends up almost getting the win, but falls to the Rose Plant and the Axe Kick off the top. 1, 2, 3. Now, Lyra and Bayley, after this, I mean, I almost think they have to win, but I'll talk about that in my predictions after this video. Charlotte and Tiffany are facing disciplinary action. Whatever Ludwig and Tiffany do in the bedroom is their business, commentary team. Last week, Drew went through windshield. It was real glass, and Jack Perry should be crying because he'll never be a fucking draw. Mania 18 recaps, where Rock and Hogan faced off, and Rock had to go heel because the Toronto crowd cheered Hogan like crazy. Priest shows up, Drew attacks. We get a broken screen. And we get security running out, and they don't feel so free. So Drew cuts a promo. He has an eye patch, more like Drew Patchentire. And are we able to see clearly? Well, I can see clearly now that the rain is gone, and we're going to go out into the summer days. And as we have the traffic build up in Seattle and surrounding areas, it will not be a full-time driving day. So, I'm 100% cleared, which means you're 100% screwed. Well then, all right, Drew. Claymore's going to go somewhere else, isn't it? We don't judge here. Priest is back, and yeah, we get the steps to the head after Drew went for the eye. Ow, my eye, I'm not supposed to get Scottish psychopath in it. And the future shock on the steps where Drew hurt his own back. Probably should have thought that through, Drew. DIY and Pretty Deadly were talking. Who wants Gargano to talk on television? I want answers. Besides Triple H, that is, which further proves that him being in the Hall of Fame is bullshit. Why are Pretty Deadly there? Why is the tag team division so goddamn paper thin? Sabin and Shelley deserve better. And they talk about Triple H going in the Hall of Fame, winning the King of the Ring in 1997. He would have won it in 96, but the curtain calling. Honestly, if it was for the better, we got Austin 316. Phoenix took on Hey Berto. Good on Phoenix. I'm very happy for him. I did watch his debut against Nathan Frazier last week. Hey Berto got pinned after the Mexican Muscle Buster, which sounds like a protein drink that you would buy in a dark alley. Santos wants Hey Berto to shake his hand or shake Phoenix's hand. He doesn't. And it seems like they're going to go with Escobar teaming up with Phoenix to keep the Lucha Bros separate for a while Hey Berto and the other guy, Garza, Angel Garza, that's who I'm thinking of, are going to go with Andrade. Watch them have Penta join this. Watch them all go to Raw. Watch them do some shifts in the draft. So, Roxanne is here. They had to lower the camera to get her in the shot because she's very tiny. She's very skilled. She's just very tiny. Tiffany interrupts. We're going to have a match later. And Aldis apparently either had a hangover or was very tired of getting yelled at, or they didn't soundproof the room. He was like, okay, stop. Everybody stop. And Tiffany, calm down. That's what you always want to tell a woman to do. Calm down. That always works out. To be fair, most of them should calm down. But that being said, let's move on from this ledge that I'm talking myself off of. So, a package on Punk and Heyman. We see clips from a 2012 documentary. Zelina didn't get her own theme. I mean, I'm not the biggest Zelina fan. I don't have anything against her as a person, but really? And then after the break, we come back and there's an Aleister Black graphic. Now that's convenient. They're married. Zelina and Aleister, just in case you didn't know. And Aleister Black coming back. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. They got some people coming back that left after a few years ago and did what they did in AEW. And I think it's just going to be a thing where they're there for maybe a year or two. And that's all it's going to mean. And it's going to be short-lived. Speaking of short-lived, this match against Chelsea Green. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Zelina and Chelsea. Basically, Chelsea was nervous about the Secret Hervis not being there. She was knocking on the door earlier. Zelina interrupted. I think that was Zelina. It could have been a child in a wig for all I know. And she was arguing about that. She thought Joe was yelling at her or trying to argue with her. So she got counted out. It did prevent us from seeing Zelina trying to wrestle, so that was at least something. She's been wrestling since like 2011. I'm sorry, if she hasn't gotten it by now, she's never going to get it. So, we get Santos trying to get through to his guys, and then Andrade talks to Hey Berto and says something. I don't know what the fuck he said. I have a very hard time understanding Andrade. I believe he was trying to encourage him. Naomi has razor blades in her goddamn hair, or dog tags, or what, I don't know what the fuck. Apparently she was just channeling the Bloody Fingers guy. That story's, like, really old. I'm doing what's best for me. Why the moody music for this and the Jade pre-tape? Why? And Naomi did say proceed with caution. She had the caution tape on her recently, and Jade is like, I'm all for them having a match, and I hope it's good, but the moody music and just the staginess of some of this stuff, it was a choice. It was a choice. So, Cody has all the old belts going back to the WWF days, and God, his lisp is certainly out of control. I mean, I try to ignore it because we all have issues. Everybody can have speech issues, have, lisps, that kind of stuff. It happens. We all get to where we get tongue-tied or whatever it is. And if it's the right person where you get tongue-tied with, you need to lock that woman down. Nevertheless, it seems like Cody was just very out of control. Though, being in Seattle and talking about, this is for us, I'm sorry. I couldn't unhear it. I could not unhear it. This was way too rehearsed. It was just way too rehearsed. He vowed to beat Cena. It was a good promo and people were into it. As far as getting the crowd into it, but for me personally, it just felt so rehearsed. It just politician Cody. Alright, I'm not reviewing next week's show, but we do get the Profits against the Guns for the tag titles, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, 6-woman tag, and a couple other things. Get Mello away from Miz is all I said. Tiffany and Roxanne had a very well wrestled match. It was a nice long TV match. Very long. At least, of course, shout out to Noah, asking if she can spell Utah. Does Tiffany know what the capital of Washington State is? Do you know what the capital of Washington State is without looking it up? There are some people in this state that don't know, that have lived here all their lives. It's Olympia, by the way. I was just going to say that. But, figured I'd give everybody a few seconds, maybe pause the video and look. Alright. Roxanne can work, but the Roxanne Bailey stuff being dropped is bizarre to me. I just don't get it. I'm not against the idea of Bailey getting a Mania slot, but just what in the world? That seemed like a good story they were going with, and I'd love to see Bailey and Roxanne tear it up in a best out of 3 or I'd say a best out of 7. I'd love to see that. Prettiest moonsault ever wins it. Charlotte then attacks Tiffany. Wade seems upset at Charlotte. I think a lot of people are, probably because she has just seemingly just phoned it the fuck in, and I know she came back from a knee injury. I know she's been going through some personal stuff. I'm not here to be mean, but just looking at it objectively as a fan, does Charlotte seem like she wants to be there? Does Charlotte need to be there? Has wrestling evolved beyond the need for Charlotte Flair in a major promotion? She's almost 40, not to be ageist, but she's coming off of that knee injury. She has seemed like she's never evolved her character. She never has. Now, whether that's her fault, whether that's creative's fault, eventually it does fall on you. But that being said, we then get I'm sorry, this Tiffany-Charlotte match is probably going to end up being a disaster. Recaps of last week's Punk, Roman, Rollins stuff. Mania card rundown. They're all set. And then Solo and Tonga Chameleon took on Orton and LA Knight. Jacob Fatu showed up at the end after Orton and Solo fought off. They just fought off. After Thomas sort of recovered from a RKO after Knight recovered from the Samoan Spike, BFT 1, 2, 3, and then Jacob Fatu hit 1 moonsault, 2 moonsaults, and a 3rd moonsault, and a 1-minute overrun. So that's it right there. That is it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the fact that I just randomly decided to review this SmackDown, because in Seattle, I feel the need to talk about the shows that take place in my state, even if I'm not there. And speaking of shows that are in my state that I'm not going to be at, AEW's got a couple shows coming up in Kent. And if you're Washingtonian, you know why I'm not going to those. The ShoWare Center. Fuck that shit. That being said, we are on the show to WrestleMania. We're almost there. Whoa, living on a Vegas prayer. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.